I hope you enjoyed the testimonials that we just shared with you. The External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is on his way, but he's asked us to start the program because it's quite a long one. So, with your permission, I will give you a bit of an idea of ICCR in my remarks because today is indeed a historical milestone. Secretary CPV Shri Arun Chatterjee, Secretary East Shri P. Kumaran, Deputy Director Generals of ICCR, colleagues from the Ministry of External Affairs, members of the Diplomatic Corps, eminent artists, educationists, ICCR scholars, and other members of ICCR's extended family. Friends from the media, distinguished guests, namaskar, good evening. A very warm welcome to the 75th anniversary celebration of the Indian Council of Cultural Relations in Azad Bhavan. I thank you all for making time on a busy weekday evening to share this momentous occasion with us and to celebrate ICCR's 75 remarkable years of bridging cultures, fostering friendship and goodwill. I feel rather humbled to speak here today as the 5-month-old Director General of a 75-year-old institution that has had an illustrious journey thanks to the hard work of many before me. ICCR officials, past Director Generals, past presidents, and frankly many of you in the audience who have worked with ICCR over the years. So I would like to begin by remembering with enormous gratitude all those who have contributed to building and bequeathing this wonderful institution to us. To be honest, I myself had only a partial idea of what ICCR does before coming here as the Director General. I had a limited perspective, one of a mission abroad. Only after coming here, I have discovered the enormous scope, scale, and impact of ICCR's activities in India and abroad, and I've also discovered how much work there is. I have seen firsthand how it touches the lives of so many people in far corners of the world. You would probably be as amazed as I was to discover that at any point of time, there are more than 7,000 foreign students in India studying on ICCR scholarships from 190 countries, practically every country in the world. I think that does deserve a round of applause. I was equally amazed to know that ICCR sponsors more than 800 Indian artists every year to perform abroad, which means more than 2 artists are being sent abroad every day to represent India. And what is more interesting is ICCR sponsors more than 1,000 foreign artists every year to perform in India. That is almost 3 foreign artists every day being welcomed in India by ICCR. In fact, we send, I think, about 100 troops every year to more than 80 countries in the world, which I think is an amazing figure. Now, on the academic side, again, this is something I discovered. ICCR hosts visits to India by around 50 distinguished foreign academics and leaders every year. That is almost 1 every week. And it has chairs in foreign universities of 33 countries. In fact, we have 53 ICCR chairs in 33 countries as of now, and 125 eminent foreign Indologists, scholars, artists, and ICCR alumni have so far received various honors from ICCR for their contributions to cultural bridge building with India. Again, very few would know that more than 152 countries in the world have at least one statue or bust of an Indian leader provided by ICCR. You will all agree, a statue, whether it's of Mahatma Gandhi ji or Rabindranath Tagore, is a permanent reminder of India for the people of every country for generations to come. So every year, ICCR actually installs 10 new ones across the world in different countries. So I think we're going to see many more such permanent representations of India abroad. Today, ladies and gentlemen, ICCR runs 38 Indian cultural centers in different countries of the world. And what is interesting is that we send over 200 teachers to teach Indian dance, music, yoga, Indian languages. But what is even more interesting is a majority of these teachers are not Indians. They're foreigners. They're members of the Indian diaspora who live abroad, who teach because they have learned this simply out of their love and passion for India. I think that's amazing too. Now, what most of you do know, and I also knew, is that ICCR anchors large-scale events all over the world. And last year, during the International Day of Yoga, guess how many events ICCR anchored? 1,121 yoga events all over the world. In fact, I had a personal and rather unforgettable experience of ICCR anchoring cultural events when we took 120 artists from 11 countries to perform during the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj. That was, I think, a once in a 144-year experience for all of us. And that was amazing to watch Russian artists, Mongolian artists, artists from Rwanda perform in Prayagraj during the holy Mahakumbh. So we have mounted an exhibition called Padachin, Footprints Across Time, just next door in the Rabindra Art Gallery. I would request all of you to please take a quick look. It's not very big, but it shows some highlights of ICCR's Footprints Across Time, including the fact that ICCR has hosted over 600 exhibitions so far in India and abroad. More than 600 since 1961. Now, you will realize that ICCR's task has not been easy. How do you do justice to projecting the unmatched cultural richness of the most diverse and multilingual country in the world, especially when its cultural diversity is of continental proportions and defies generic branding? For instance, how do you capture the idea of an India that speaks thousands of dialects and over 100 languages and publishes newspapers in more than 100 languages, has more than 300 dance forms, produces movies in more than 30 languages, and has over 1,000 different food varieties? And yet, over the last 75 years, ICCR has endeavored to do the impossible. Take brand India to different corners of the world in all its mind-boggling diversity and foster meaningful connections across the world. And ladies and gentlemen, to do justice to this rather formidable mandate, ICCR has been taking many new initiatives in recent years. I think some of you are aware of them. What is little known is that ICCR, an organization that is mandated to promote India's millennia-old civilization and culture, actually uses state-of-the-art digital technologies and is one of the few fully paperless e-offices in the government of India. Now, you may not believe me, so I'm going to give you some concrete examples. All our admission processes for the scholarship, even the administration, is run digitally through the Gyan Setu portal and the admissions to alumni portal. ICCR digitally monitors the activities of all its 38 cultural centers across the world through the Activity and Information Management System portal. It has created a robust digital database of Indian artists of diverse genres through the Artist Management Systems portal. ICCR engages its foreign alumni, people who have studied in India under ICCR scholarships, through the India Alumni Portal, and ICCR conducts online classes in Indian dance, arts, handicrafts for over 4,000 foreign students in 51 countries. So all this is digital. Thank you. Now, a very interesting fact that I've learned only recently is that ICCR actually entered into a MOU with Google and collaborated with Google to improve Google's artificial intelligence technology for translation of Sanskrit texts into foreign languages and vice versa. And this has made Sanskrit accessible to the wider world. And frankly, it's a key to the treasures of Indian civilization. So I think it's a very important step that ICCR has taken. ICCR has also launched interesting new visitors programs like the Gen Next Democracy Network program, in which 272 young leaders of 77 democracies visited India. These are young, upcoming leaders in their countries, and we believe it's a diplomatic investment. ICCR also launched the Knowledge India Visitors Program for foreign scholars from 36 countries who specialize in Indian studies. It also launched the Buddha Bhumi Vandana Yatra, which hosts 23 young Buddhist scholars from 11 countries to explore India's rich Buddhist heritage. I don't know how many of you know, but there was also the Vaishali Festival of Democracy at Nalanda University. There was the International Conference on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam at the UN General Assembly in New York. And the Hindi Vishwa Yatra, a very interesting program where foreign students who are learning Hindi and doing well in Hindi visit India. There were 31 such foreign students who came to India and explored not just Hindi, but the whole of India. On the cultural side, ICCR has signed MOUs for the first time with 25 Indian states to take local artists abroad and to showcase the entire diversity of India's cultural spectrum. We also organized a global dance competition, Indian dance competition for foreigners called Pratibha Sangam, which was a huge hit, so we're going to do it again. We have launched an e-learning portal on traditional Indian knowledge systems, which is a big part of ICCR's work. But what is culture without its flavors? Especially the amazing diversity of India's mouth-watering cuisine, which is probably India's biggest ambassador in the world, apart from Bollywood. So ICCR introduced the Annapurna certificates in 2023 to recognize Indian restaurants in foreign countries that are promoting authentic Indian cuisine and giving a taste of India's rich culinary traditions to global palates. Today, you will see the second set of certificates being given away to the winners. And I think we received more than 160 applications from all over the world. Thank you. But ICCR will need to continue to keep pace with the changing times and changing trends through newer initiatives. So I'm very happy to announce 4 new initiatives on this historic day when we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of ICCR. Firstly, we all know how important social media is today and how important young people are if you really want to promote Indian culture. So, we are going to leverage the growing reach of social media through our ICCR foreign scholars, who in a way are young ambassadors of India, by announcing 2 attractive cash prizes. which will be given every quarter. The first is the ICCR Yuva Mitra Prize, to recognize ICCR scholars who actively promote Indian heritage, culture, and knowledge systems on global platforms through their social media handles. People who post about sites they visit during the weekend on Instagram, who post about henna when they go to a wedding, or who write about some interesting food they have eaten on Snapchat or YouTube, So any social media handle. And through this, we also hope to encourage our young friends to explore Indian heritage and let the world know about it, especially their friends and families in their own countries. So as you see, we have attractive cash prizes and they'll be given on a quarterly basis to keep the momentum going. We have a second cash prize for ICCR scholars called you're going to see the details very soon. This is for those scholars who are learning Indian arts. For example, somebody who's learning Indian music, learning an Indian musical instrument, or learning Indian art, handicraft. We are asking them to send us their videos. We will pick the top ones, we'll give them prizes, we'll showcase them on ICCR social media, and we hope that this will encourage them to do more. We have detailed guidelines for these, including eligibility, submission, evaluation process details. So I invite you all to spread the word about these prizes. We have the honor of welcoming Madam Kyoko Jaishankar, who has been a very encouraging presence for ICCR. Thank you, ma'am. Your presence here means a lot to us today. I have seen ma'am appreciate all our cultural performances, and we feel very inspired by her presence today. Thank you. ICCR is also launching 2 new series on its website, social media handles, and its newsletter. The first is called ICCR Ki Khoj. We feel that there are many anonymous, ordinary Indians who are doing culture promotion on their own that we don't know about. Unsung champions of Indian heritage and culture. ICCR wants to showcase all these normal, ordinary Indians on its website, on our social media handles, and here's a glimpse of the first one.
Is glimpses of the world, and the tagline is "Let's travel the world without a passport." Here I will be displaying postage stamps, coins, and currency notes, which are issued across the world, which depict our Hindu culture or the gods and goddesses of Indian origin. My heartfelt thanks to the ICCR for giving me an opportunity to present my exhibits which depict the Hindu mythology spread across the world. Thank you.
So all of you who know someone who is doing things like this, please do reach out to them. Hello? Okay, we are back. Please do reach out to us and to them, spread the word. The next initiative we are taking is launching a new series called ICCR Padma Awardee Series to pay tribute to all those fabulous Indian artists whose brushstrokes, rhythms, poetic verses have shaped India's cultural consciousness and taken it to the world. So we want to recognize and honor these eminent artists who have received the Padma Award, of course on a voluntary basis. We want to just showcase the first one in the series today. It's a very small clip. I invite you to watch, please.
I sing all the singing style of Indian classical music. Om dimiki dimi jamaru baje, girika lash shikhar par nache, dimik dimik dimi badang baje, shish gang ardhang viraje, uma ramahar sapsura saje, karatrishotamaruliya nache, shiva cham 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 chanadadadadada, chichi chamma chammada, chamma chammada, chamma chammada. By God grace and my contribution for the Indian classical music, I was awarded the Padma Shri.
So that is Soma Ghosh, one of the Padma awardees. So there are a lot of artists here. If you know anybody who would like to be showcased, please write to us. Finally, even as modernity reshapes the world, the echoes of India's folk traditions remain timeless. To ensure that these voices are heard beyond India's borders and to showcase the more than 300 Indian folk dances, for example, that we have, ICCR will empanel 3 folk artist groups from each of the 25 states with whom ICCR has signed MOUs, and a total of 75 folk artist groups will be sent abroad to showcase their art on a global stage. Thank you for your encouragement. The claps mean a lot. We feel like we should be doing more now. Thank you. Looking ahead, as the world becomes more interconnected, more homogeneous, I think culture will increasingly define the soul of a people and a nation and what makes them unique. As ICCR moves towards its 100th year Amrit Kal journey alongside an India that strides confidently towards Viksit Bharat and grows in profile on the global stage, the world will become more open and curious about Indian culture. Even as India confidently reclaims its cultural heritage, ICCR will need to do more and do better by being more ambitious and constantly adapting itself to changing needs and trends. In this, we will have to deftly navigate a rapidly changing and challenging landscape. For instance, in the era of increasingly short attention spans and instant culture consumption on social media through 30-second Insta Reels, how do we showcase the layered complexity and nuances of culture? With such personalized consumption of cultural content and a rapidly growing creative economy that will face the daunting challenge of copyrights and distinguishing between what is real and fake. In the world of AI, it will be imperative for ICCR to work collaboratively with a range of partners inside and outside the government. And we intend to do this. Again, in today's world where national identities and interests are becoming paramount, our shared humanity expressed through the universal language of emotion in art and culture remains our hope. In this, I believe India's contribution would be significant, given our unparalleled depth and diversity of culture, rooted in our millennia-old civilizational values of peace, harmony, and universal well-being. These are not just concepts for us. They are living values that guide our governance and our foreign policy, and as you know, have been translated into very practical initiatives like Vaccine Maitri, for example, during COVID, Vishwa Bandhu Bharat, Voice of the Global South, and many more. This genuine embrace of the world, anchored in the belief that we are all in it together, is a message from India that will always be timeless, always be relevant. Especially in this time of dichotomy when people are more isolated than ever in a world that is more interconnected than ever. When people are more at dis-ease and stress, at a time when there's a lot of ease of living and material comfort. I think the growing popularity of Indian yoga, Ayurveda, meditation attest to this. So I really believe that we owe it not just to India, but to global well-being to propagate this brand India. This brand that goes beyond the traditional definition of culture to encompass the idea of Bharat as a civilization. A civilizational value that includes values like dialogue, diversity, democracy, Sarvodaya, the belief in empowering the most downtrodden, our respect for nature, our eco-friendly spirit of Jugaad, our reverence for the divine feminine in the form of Shakti, our exploration of the inner world through spirituality, and our exploration of the outer world through, say, ancient maritime trade, contemporary immigration, or even our forays into outer space. It is this brand India whose story needs to be told to the wider world for the well-being of all, in the spirit of Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. ICCR will endeavor to lead this narrative in the coming days, where the rise of India is acknowledged by the world as a benevolent force for peace, harmony, and well-being. I thank the Ministry of External Affairs, all our embassies and cultural centers abroad, our partner countries, many of whose ambassadors are present here today. I thank all of you who have collaborated in ICCR's long 75-year-old journey for your valued support, and look forward to even closer engagement in the exciting days that lie ahead. On this momentous occasion, ICCR reaffirms its unwavering commitment to strengthening cultural bridges that connect India to the world across nations, across generations, helping foster global peace and friendship in line with India's civilizational belief that the world is ultimately one family. I will end with a line from the Atharva Veda that encapsulates this spirit. Sarva Asha Mama Mitram Bhavantu. Yani, sabhi dishaएं mere mitra ban jaएं. May we make friends in all directions. Thank you.